Turbo!
Hey geeks and gamers, whenever I was a kid, my favorite type of game was platformers, and 3D platformers are usually the way I would go, because at the time, whenever I was a kid, the N64 and PS1 were the big deals, so 2D platformers at this time period had kind of faded away, so all I really had were 3D platformers: Crash Bandicoot, Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, cool games like those. But there's one game in particular that I remember spending a lot of my time on, and that game is Ape Escape for the original PlayStation 1.
Hey, Spike, did the professor finish the time station yet? Are we gonna get to go back in time?
Now, it's hard to really say what your favorite game is ever, and it's even harder at some points to say what your favorite game is for a console. The original PlayStation 1 had a ton of great games, be it RPGs, platformers, fighting games, racing games. It really had a big library, but I can, without a doubt, even though I love games like Crash Bandicoot and I love other PS1 games, I can without a doubt say that Ape Escape is my favorite PlayStation 1 game of all time. If you haven't played Ape Escape, the plot is pretty simple. These monkeys get these helmets that give them, well, not really intelligence, but more intelligence than they had. And they want to take over the world, so they get sent back in time. You play as a young boy named Spike, who also gets sent back in time, and you have to go through each level and catch a certain amount of monkeys. That's the basic thing. That's the gist of the game. The cool thing about the game was that at the time, it launched alongside the first DualShock controller. So, you know, the standard DualShock controller that we all play with nowadays on whatever Sony console we're playing. This game helped to pioneer that controller, because whenever you play Ape Escape, you hardly ever use your actual face buttons. Your four face buttons, your X, square, circle, and triangle buttons, are used to assign your gadgets, your nets, your hula hoops, whatever you're using for that level. It helps to assign those. So how do you actually play the game? Well, you use both the sticks. You use the left stick to move, and you use the right stick to use your gadget. That's a cool little mechanic by itself. And you also use your R buttons to jump. And you also use one of your top buttons for your camera. So it adds a weird type of, I don't know, it controls rather odd, but I think it controls well. I've never had a problem with the controls at all. It takes a little bit to adjust to when you first start playing the game. But after you get used to it, it's really fun. It's really cool how they actually work this in. The game looks great for a PS1 game. It controls fantastic. It is probably the best 3D platformer, in my opinion, on the console. I know a lot of people will go for Crash or go for Spyro, but I really think the game just has a nice feel. The DualShock controller really gives it a nice open feel compared to other 3D platformers that came before it. And the levels look really nice, and the music's really nice, and it's just a really nice, clean game. Plus, what other game lets you play a level inside of a dinosaur named Dexter? That's amazing. That's a cool level right there. And you'll be going from dinosaurs to beaches, to feudal Japan, to icy mountains, and finally to a theme park. I'm not showing the whole game here, but I'm just showing like the first few worlds, and there are a lot of cool things to do in this game. I love Ape Escape. So would I recommend this game? Heck yes. I don't know how much an actual disc copy is. You can't actually download this. the weird thing is that Sony hasn't released this game digitally for some reason. I don't know why that is. I don't know what the problem is, why they can't release it, but they haven't released it on the PSN store ever. You can buy the updated version called Ape Escape on the loose on the PSP. It's pretty good. It's a faithful little adaptation of the original game. But I would say try to hunt down just an actual copy of the game if you can, because the actual PS1 copy will play on a PS1, PS2, or a PS3. So really, you're set if you can find yourself a disc. It's a really, really good time that I think if you like 3D platformers, you can definitely get into.
Yes!
Turbo Zone.